Is the managerial merry-go-round about to stop spinning for now in the EFL Championship with the appointment of Julien Stephan as the new QPR manager? Sky and BBC have gone pretty big on this one. They say that Stefan has agreed terms. He will be the new QPR manager. We are just waiting for an announcement. Get your thoughts in via the comments on this guy, if he is to become the QPR manager, how you think he's going to get on, what you think of the hire in what has been a pretty difficult job down there in West London, over a decade now in the Championship for QPR. Right, lots to get into. I want to talk about the merry-go-round, I want to talk about Stefan, and I want to talk about QPR as a whole. Just on the merry-go-round, this is really crazy. We could go into this Championship season with literally half the league having brand new or very new managers when we get into round one. I mean, the ones we know are definitely going into round one with new managers. Bristol City, Hull, Middlesbrough, Norwich, QPR, Sheffield United, Southampton, Watford, West Brom. That's 9 definites. Can you add Swansea in as 10? Because that was Sheehan was a caretaker towards the end of last season. And then what if Brentford take McKenna? Then Ipswich could be going in. Leicester could, we don't know what's going to happen with Van Nistelrooy, and Sheffield Wednesday's a mess. If all of those change as well, that would be 13 teams going in with new managers. Open season, and anyone with an existing manager has got an advantage in these first 3 months because their pattern of play is going to be more established than anybody else's. Anyway, let's move on to Julien Stephan. By the way, if you are an expert on French football, get in the comments. Humble as ever. I'm self-aware enough to tell you the truth on this channel. Humility and all that stuff. I don't know anything about French football other than that Liam Rossini is managing over there, because we talked about him plenty going out of Hull and into Strasbourg. And there is a link to Strasbourg with Julien Stephan, who is a 44-year-old French manager. He's got a fair bit of history going back to 2018, managing in Ligue 1, and make your comparisons to the level of Ligue 1 compared to the Championship. I know you can get European football and Champions League football there. It's a bit doped, isn't it? PSG win every single year, don't they? And then it's, everybody else, basically. So, yeah, you can think on that how you will, but it's a high enough level with good enough players, isn't it? And there's so few complete seasons in this. It's so confusing. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons. And it seems to be he's only gone from coast to coast in one season with ins and outs and sackings and arrivals and COVID in there. But there's a couple of pretty good things in there. Finished 3rd in the COVID season. So that was stopped beforehand with Rennes. And he won the French Cup as well, beating PSG with Rennes. Finished, they finished 6th. He got sacked at the end of the season. I don't know quite why, if you'd finished 3rd and won a cup, you'd be sacked with your team on the way to 3rd. But anyway, someone will probably explain more in the comments. They went off to Strasbourg, 6th place. That was one full entire season. That's the only one that's not COVID in there. 6th with Strasbourg, very decent. And everyone's bigging up Liam Rossini. He's just finished 7th with Strasbourg. So, if you're making direct comparisons there, then Julien Stephan has done one better than Liam Rossini has. Not to say that one's got more potential than the other, but it's an interesting direct comparison there with the same club in the same league. Out of Strasbourg in January, they went on to finish 15th in 22-23. Back in at Rennes in November, so it's not a full season. They finished 10th, and then he's out the next November, and they go on to finish 12th. So a lot to go on, but not a lot to go on. But there is some really good stuff in there if you're a QPR fan. 3rd, but with the caveat, the season was cut short for COVID, winning that tournament. And I suppose focusing on that Strasbourg season, where they finished 6th, and you can make the direct comparison with Liam Rossini there. Other than that, I know very little about Julien Stephan. So again, I would invite you, if you know about French football, get in the comments there. I know a fair bit more about QPR having done this gig for a while. And yeah, they're really stuck, aren't they? And I'm a bit disappointed because it feels like they got a good manager in Cifuentes and it's all messed up. And I've just made a list here in terms of QPR. It feels like twice they have had someone that's going to work there in Mick Beale and then Marty Cifuentes, and then it doesn't work out for whatever reason. Ramsey, Holloway, McLaren, Warburton, Beale, Critchley, Ainsworth and Cifuentes. They've tried a little bit of everything. Obviously, Beale, maybe you can't blame QPR for that, but otherwise it's been not terribly amazing hires. The managers haven't lasted terribly long, and we had Warburton's contract kind of running down to zero and him going and trying something completely different with Ainsworth, and that didn't work out. And then Cifuentes, where you're like, okay, this guy's looking really, really good. And you tell me in the comments, some kind of falling out with the higher ups there and gardening leave. I'm sure once that's all sorted out and the handcuffs are released, a championship club will be in for Marty Cifuentes because he knows the league, and particularly the rescue mission after Gareth Ainsworth was in there. It was Cifuentes and Roll coming in at QPR and Sheffield Wednesday. They both looked absolutely doomed. And they survived. But this video is not to talk about Marty Cifuentes. I'm just suggesting that they had somebody good. There was good work being done. And that is who Julien Stephan is going to have to follow. And if Cifuentes couldn't make it work in the end there, will Stephan have any more success? I don't know. Is it broken at a higher level there at QPR? In this 10-year run in the Championship, they've finished in the top half 3 times. And I know, obviously, they had the kind of the poster boys for FFP and the big fine when they came down from the Premier League, kind of cancelling out parachute payments. I think they came down when you still got 4 years' worth of parachute payments split a bit more equally. But they've been in the bottom 6 twice. And as I say, they looked absolutely doomed there before Cifuentes went in. But for the most part, they've been functioning in that 3rd quartile in the Championship table. And I don't know. This feels like absolute doom, doesn't it? When you get stuck in there and the 3 parachute teams come down each and every season, you're struggling to compete. There are assets there. And I think we just had Did Sam Field sign a new contract and Jimmy Dunn? And they are players that have been linked with moves away from QPR, as has Ilias Chair over a long time. I don't know whether he's still the guy. I know there was injury issues and whatnot last season. But I don't know. I don't know what, in terms of building. I don't know if Charlie Kelman was out, wasn't he, at Orient last season? He can come back. He scored a ton of goals. They've always produced good youth players, haven't they, QPR? I know London is a very fertile ground with a massive population and players sort of come through. And I'll tell you what might happen. They might have a windfall from Eze leaving Crystal Palace if that indeed happens. But I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's masses there to work with. And maybe that's why Marty Cifuentes is not there anymore. So I think what I'm saying is, I mean, the guy looks like he's got some good stuff on his CV. Then can you adjust to the Championship? I mean, we're talking about the QPR higher-ups. Give him a pass for Cifuentes. That was a good hire. So if the last hire was good, why can't this one be good? And the only problem I've got is you want everybody to have hope. You want everybody to have that good season and get in the playoffs. But it does feel at QPR there's been problems up at the top that managers have struggled to get over. And that could be the beginning, middle and end of it for Marty Cifuentes. And I'm sure all the QPR fans would have been more confident going into this season with him than a manager they'd never heard of. But there's always the chance this guy could be absolutely brilliant. And up and away goes QPR. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Julien Stephan in. And honestly, I've got to say, I know we've done so many videos this week. Gerhard Struber, Bristol City. We've spoken about Rob Edwards, Chris Wilder, Ruben Selles. We're now speaking about Julien Stephan as well. We've spoken about Liam Manning. God, what else have we done? Rakirovic, is it? I can't even pronounce his name at Hull. We've done so much stuff. It's not going to be the end of it, is it? Surely it's going to be something happen at Sheffield Wednesday or Leicester. And what if Brentford do want to take a manager out of the EFL? So complete chaos here. Link back and check out up there where we were talking last week. I made my predictions about where different clubs were going to go for different managers. See how close I got to that. And get down there in the comments on another new manager in the Championship. How is Julien Stephan going to do at QPR?